I hope that I am audible and visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Kindly confirm. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So, respected dignitaries of Research Foundation of India, respected guest speaker, Dr. Chanchila Jain, all the eminent scholars and participants, and distinguished guest. So, I, Archie Dubey, Head of Department from Faculty of Management Studies, the ICFA University, Raipur, and Chapter Head of Raipur, Chhattisgarh. I welcome you all on behalf of the this workshop of the Research Foundation of India. And today, I welcome you all in the fifth day of the 10 days International Faculty Development Program on step-by-step guide to write a research paper. Today's session promises to be very enlightening as we are going to learn the art of data analysis through Excel through a very expert in this field, Dr. Chanchila Jain. She is serving right now as assistant professor at the prestigious Institute of Management and Research, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Chanchila Jain brings a wealth of expertise to guide us through the session, which will be focused upon the application of Excel on data analysis as we navigate the complexities of research paper writing. Understanding how to relatively analyze data become paramount. So before I request Dr. Chanchila Jain to start the session, I would like to have an insight on the profile of Dr. Chanchila Jain. It is my pride and privilege. Dr. Chanchila Jain is an author, research expert, and academician with an experience of more than 11 years in management and commerce as an assistant professor. She's co-founder of Urja Counseling and Training Indore. Presently, she's working as assistant professor in Prestige Institute of Management and Research, India, Indore, as discussed earlier. And she's also the coordinator of IQAC at PIMR. She has conducted many workshops and FDPs on SPSS module, research papers writing, and analysis through R programming. Recently, she has completed one research project related to the medical field, which has been presented before the central ministry. She has chaired and co-chaired various conferences. She has rich experience of more than 10 years in research, and within this, she has more than 42 research papers published in various journals, including Scopus, national and international journals. She has also presented research papers in more than 20 conferences and won 5 Best Paper Awards in many of the prestigious institutes. 4 research scholars pursuing their PhD degree under her able guidance, and she has also guided more than 500 students in their major and minor research projects. As an author, she is also written a book as on crucial problem of our society, along with a co-author titled as Atmahatya Kyun. So without further delay, let's open our minds to absorb the valuable knowledge which will be given by Dr. Chanchila Jain, madam. And it is she's about to share, as discussed later on, the data analysis through Excel. So without further delay, madam, may I request you to share your valuable knowledge and guidance on data analysis through Excel. Now the platform is yours, ma'am. And for the participants, it is a humble request that if you are having any doubts, meanwhile, that depends upon the madam whether you will be allowing it to interfere in the session. Meanwhile, we are having an option of chat box. You can type your queries on the chat box. It will be addressed by the technical team and Dr. Jain later. So, ma'am, now the platform is yours and the people are waiting for your valuable guidance. So, once again, warm welcome, ma'am, and please proceed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Archie, ma'am. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, first of all, at the onset of this 10 days,
Ma'am, please unmute yourself. You're muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I must extend my gratitude towards the RFI team, towards the Ajay sir for one more time giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge on Excel with the participants. So thank you so much, Ajay sir, and entire RFI team. Thank you so much, Archie ma'am, for introducing me with the participants and all the persons, those who are joined us on this particular online platform. Thank you so much for that. So, very good evening, one and all present over here. I'm Dr. Chanchila Jain, as ma'am has already told about me. Today, I'm going to discuss the application part of the Excel, that how we can use Excel for the analysis purpose, right? So, firstly, I'll discuss few things about the Excel, and then we will do the hands-on on Excel. I have shared a sheet on WhatsApp group. Those who are there, I think they can download that sheet. And I'm expecting everyone to please use that sheet while I'll explain you what type of things we can do through the Excel, right? So without delaying the much, I'm just sharing my screen with all of you. So once I'll share my screen, I am expecting that please tell me whether my screen is visible or not. Okay, I think I shared my screen. Can anyone confirm me whether the screen is visible or not?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, thank you so much. So as the today's agenda is, we need to see that how Excel helps us to do the data analysis, right? So firstly, we need to know what is Excel. So I think I do not need to say much about the Excel, as Excel is now the part of our day-to-day life. I think many of us is using Excel on the daily basis, right? So I think we are also knowing what is the interface of Excel. So I will not talk much about the Excel, but still I need to tell a few things about the Excel to everyone, and then we will proceed on Excel and we will see what we can do. The very first thing is when we talk about data analysis using Excel. So using the Excel, we can clean our data, we can transform our data, and we can analyze our data, right? So that means analysis will be the very last process. Before that, we need to prepare our data for the analysis. So we will clean our data. Somewhere we are finding it like the data is not properly, we can transform also our data. So Excel can support you in doing the first two operations, and then we can go for the third operations, that is the analysis of the data using Excel. This is the interface, or I must say this is a view of Excel, we all know. So these are, you can see here, these are the various menus available. Apart from that, if we want to do a type of hypothesis testing using Excel, so we need to add the data analysis toolpath in Excel. So I'll let you know that how we can add that particular data analysis toolpath once we will go to the Excel. Talking about firstly, as before performing the analysis using the Excel, we need to have few knowledge about the some terminology, right? So here I'll talk about the variable. So I think we all know variable is what it is. From the name itself, it is quite clear. Variable is a entity, or it is an entity which can store something, right? But this is varying according to entity to entity. For means we can say variable is a kind of characteristics, right? So for example, if I'm talking about the hair color can be a variable, but the hair color can vary from person to person. So that way we can say that hair color can be a variable. So variable is an entity which can accept any value, or I can say which varies is known as a variable, right? Usually there are various types of classification of variables available in statistics and in data analysis, but we need to know two main types of variable in the statistics, which can help you to
Ma'am,
perform
PP,
hypothesis testing.
ma'am,
Yes.
PPTs are not moving, ma'am. PPTs are not moving. It is just
Okay.
on first slide.
Okay. Just a minute. Give me a second, sir. Again, I'm sharing my screen. Uh, okay. I think now I'm
Now,
showing
okay.
the. Okay, fine. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me your feedback. Thank you so much. So now moving ahead, talking about variable. As I said, variable means which varies is variable. In statistics, there are so many classifications available. In data analysis, we can say there are various classification available of the variables. But thing is, being an analyst, you need to know the two important type of variables. That is the dependent variable and independent variable. I think if I say the rainfall and the production of crop, these are the two variables I am having. So can anyone tell me here which variable I can take as the dependent and which variable I can take as the independent? Anyone? Please be interactive. As it is an online class, it will be little difficult me to understand whether you people are there or not. So the example again I'm repeating, the rainfall or the quantity of rainfall and the crop production of the crop. or yield of crop. I am having these two variables.
Yield of crop will be dependent and
Okay.
rainfall will be independent.
Very good. Very correct, ma'am. Very correct. Thank you so much. So, ma'am has said very correctly that when we talk about the quantity of the rainfall and second variable is the yield of the crop, so it is quite obvious. Yield of crop can be the dependent variable because quantity of rain is not in our hand. It is independent. It is depending upon the nature or on the environment, right? So that way we can say that can be your independent variable. So it is quite clear whenever we are talking about the variable or we are talking about the dependent and independent variable, we being an analyst or we being a researcher need to know which variable can be the dependent and which variable can be the independent. No software will suggest us that this variable should be dependent, this variable should be independent. Here, we being a researcher will decide this thing, that this variable we can take as a dependent and this variable we can take as the independent variable. So from name itself, we can say dependent variable means a variable or the value of the variable is depending upon the other variable, and that other variable is known as independent variable. Similarly, if I talk about independent variable is a variable which can accept any figure or any value. And according to the value of the independent variable, the value of dependent variable varies. That way, these are the two variables, that is dependent and independent. Further, talking about the measurement scale. So it is very important to understand measurement scale once we are talking about the data analysis. So I think many of you would be knowing this thing, that what is the measurement scales. So here I'll give you only a brief discussion about the measurement scale. If I say in the real world, it means if in real world I say this thing, that if I want to measure the suppose water, so can anyone tell me what would be the apparatus using that I can measure the water? I think someone has forgot to mute himself. I hope I'm audible clearly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was asking to you people that if I'm talking about that, if suppose I have to take water from the market, so how I can measure the water quantity?
In liters.
In liters, very correct. Similarly, if I want to go market to buy vegetables, so I think we know in dozen or maybe in the kg form I can buy these things, right? So once we talk about these things, I think we know the apparatus are available, the units are available. Through that we can measure or denote these type of things. But when we talk about research or when we talk about the social sciences or the field where we are dealing with the variables which we cannot directly measure, there we need to have something which can help us to measure those things. Say for example, I want to measure the perception of the people. So I think it is quite obvious. I cannot say a person is having 1 kg of the perception or 1 liter of the perception. I cannot say this thing. It is not logical. When I talk about perception, attitude, satisfaction, some loyalty, something like these terms, right? Or stress level, I cannot say. So for that we are having the measurement scales. These scales will help us to measure variables which we cannot directly measure. So in that category, we are having the 4 scales: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. The very first scale is the nominal scale. Nominal scale working is, it is only helping you to categorize your data. Say for example, if I want to categorize my research data on the basis of or my respondents data on the basis of their gender. So I can easily say that I am classifying my data or my respondents on the basis of their gender, and that way maybe we can say we are having the 2 categories. One is male and second is female. So that way I can say these number of people are the male and these number of people are the females, right? So that way nominal scale has the capacity only to categorize the data. That is the nominal scale. It is a very basic scale, or in the level this will be the very first scale. Moving ahead, talking about the second scale, that is the ordinal scale. Ordinal scale is the second scale which is having the features of the previous scale, that is the nominal scale. That means we can do the categorization using the ordinal scale, and apart from that, it has its own feature, that is there can be an order among the categories. Say for example, if I am measuring the age, usually I take these examples, easy examples from that people can connect easily, right? So a very simple example, if I here I'm taking, suppose on the basis of age, and here I am measuring the age on the basis of these are the young lot, these are the middle aged people, and these are the old aged people, right? So that way we can say categorization is quite possible. Young people means maybe the people who are having the age approximate 30 years, 30 to 50, suppose middle aged, and above 50 I'm calling them as a old aged people, suppose, right? So that is my classification. So I can say this way I have classified the respondents. Apart from that, we can observe one more thing here, that here proper ordering is possible: young people, then middle aged, and then old people. And then otherwise, or other way around, I can say old people, middle-aged people, and the young people. So there is a ascending or descending order. I can say I can maintain among the categories. So that way it is known as the ordinal scale. Or education level also we can take under the ordinal scale to understand the ordinal scale features. Next scale is the interval scale. Interval scale is a step ahead from the ordinal scale. Here, we will be having the categorization of the data. Apart from that, we can set a order also. And the third characteristics of the interval scale is that here there will be an equal difference between the categories, right? So the best example to understand this interval scale is the temperature scale. Those who have studied research methodology from books, they have found this example very frequently in the books, that the best example to understand interval scale is the temperature scale. So if I say in temperature scale, we know this thing, there is 10 degrees Celsius, 15 degrees Celsius, say means there is a proper scaling available, there is a proper difference available. If I say 10 and 20, we know the difference is 10 degrees Celsius. Similarly, 20 and 30, we know the difference is 10 degrees Celsius. So that way, equal distance or equal difference is maintained by the interval scale, apart from the previous two features. But the problem is in the interval scale is that it is lacking the absolute zero. So it is lacking the absolute zero, meaning is that arbitrary we are keeping that this is a zero on this particular scale, and from here the scale started, right? But when we talk about the temperature scale, we know when we say 0 degrees Celsius, so at 0 degrees Celsius also we can feel the temperature, because the nature of temperature is what we can feel, maybe very hot or maybe cold. That is the two features or two characteristics of the temperature. Through that we can understand that temperature is there, right? So that way, if I say 0 degrees Celsius, so we know at 0 degrees Celsius temperature is still present, because we can feel cold at 0 degrees Celsius. That means actually at 0 it should be literally 0, but there is no but that quality is not absent there, it is still present there. That is, we are feeling one of the characteristics of temperature, that is coldness. So that way we can say that 0 is the arbitrary 0. To develop that particular scale, the scientists have kept that particular 0 intentionally to create that temperature scale. So that is why in interval scale this is the lacking, that absolute 0 is not there, because 0 means the thing which we are measuring, it should not present there, right? So that is the lacking of the interval scale. So to overcome this thing, we are having the fourth scale, that is the ratio scale. So in ratio scale, we were having the categorization, we are having the ordering, we are having the equal difference or equal distance, and also we are having the absolute 0. So say for example, if I'm saying weight, we know the apparatus of weight, it is started from 0. The apparatus of height, it is started from 0, right? Similarly, if I say a income of a person, so it is quite possible a person with the 0 income, we can find easily a person whose income or whose salary is 0. We can easily find such kind of person. So that way, these kind of variables can be the ratio scales variable. We can say that thing is 0 means actually it is 0. So this way, these are the 4 scales. So you need to understand where you will use the nominal, where you will use the ordinal, interval, and the ratio scales. Further, talking about what functions we can perform using the Excel. Excel will provide you to do the arrangement of the data. Using the Excel, I think you all have seen, we can assemble or we can arrange our data in the cells which were given on the Excel sheets. We can arrange our data properly there. Apart from that, if we are talking about the analysis, so in analysis, we can manipulate the data. Using the Excel, we can go for the visualization of the data, and also we can do the analysis of the data using the Excel. Talking about the features of the Excel. So what extra thing Excel provides us? Using the Excel, we can go for the pivot table. Pivot table is a very important feature of the Excel. Using the pivot table, we can create the two-ways table. We can go for the dashboard creation. So using the pivot table, we can do wonders. So that is why this particular feature of the Excel is very popular and famous. Apart from that, we can go for the data tables. We can also perform the various kind of statistical functions on the data, and then we can add the data analysis toolpath in your Excel, and we can do the hypothesis testing also using the Excel. Talking about the first thing, that is the charts. So it is very simple to create charts in Excel. Whatever data you are having, you need to select your data, or you need to select the range of your data. For that, you want to create a chart. Then using the insert tab, you can select the particular type of chart which you want to draw for your particular data, and then you can draw that particular graph. And after that, you can, if you want to do the modification in your data, say for example, you want to change the color of the legends, or maybe of the bars or pies or slices, whatever you want to make changes, you want to name your you want to give the title to your chart, everything that you can do in the Excel. So this is the first feature of the Excel. Second is the conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is again a very beautiful feature of the Excel. Using that, we can highlight the patterns and trends of the data. So some of the rules are highlighting cell rules, color scale, data bars, and icon sets. So using according to the usability, according to the need, we can apply these different types of tests, the different types of conditional formatting on the data, and that way we can work easily using the Excel. Next is the methods for the data analysis in Excel. So we can do the concatenation of the data. So I don't know how many of you are knowing this function. Concatenation function is generally we are applying on the text data. Text data means a data which is available in the character form. Say for example, in one column I am having the name, in another column I am having the surname, and I want to add them, and I want to add both the name and surname, and I want to write both of them together in the one column. So using the concatenation function, I can do that. Len function will help you to count the or calculate the length of a character or a number or something. Count A is the function which will help you to count every kind of data. Say for example, if I'm having all the numeric data in a particular column, so using a count A function, I can count how many of the observations or data points available in a particular column. But the limitation of the count A function is that it is not helping you to count the blank cells. So say for example, if in any particular column, if there are 2 blank cells available, it will not count them. So that means it is only counting the non-blank cells, and it can count any kind of data, numeric data, date data, time data, whatever type of data you are having, count A function will allow you to do so. There is one more function available in Excel with the name count. Count function is very restricted. It will help you only to count the numbers. Then apart from that, we are having the average ifs, sum ifs function. So these functions are based on the conditions. If so, means wherever if comes, we know this thing that this is particularly based on certain particular condition, right? So for example, if I want to calculate the average of a particular column or row, so on a basis of a particular condition, so that way I can use the average if or average ifs function. So there is 2 functions. One is average if, second is average ifs. If you are having a single condition, you will use average if function, but if you are having a multiple conditions, you can use average ifs function. Similarly, a function called sum if and sum ifs, both are there. Sum if is based on only one condition. I want to sum that particular data. Sum ifs means when I am applying more than one condition, and that way I want to get a sum of that particular range. That way I can use the sum ifs function. So friends, there are so many functions which are available there in the Excel. Using that, we can easily do the analysis part of our data. Some of the function I'll explain you how or what type of things you can perform. That I'll explain you in the Excel sheet which I have given to you. Next is some other types of data analysis helping available in the Microsoft Excel. Say for example, sorting. Sorting will help you to sort your data in a particular order. So maybe if I'm having character data, that is the string data, so I can use A to Z or Z to A type of thing. I can order my data, I can arrange my data in the A to Z form or Z to A form. Z to A form. That is the one type of sorting. Apart from that, if I'm having the numbers in a particular column, so it can sort my data or arrange my data in the either ascending order or in the descending order. Similarly, filtering on a particular condition, I can filter my data. Say for example, I want to see only the data of male. So I can filter a gender column for the male, and that way I can see all the data for the males. Similarly, conditional formatting. Conditional formatting will allow you to perform various kind of conditions. Using that, you can do the formatting of your data. Charts, I think I already told you, using charts, we can go for the data visualization. And according to the availability of the charts, you can decide upon which chart you can draw for your data in Excel. Then the most important feature of the Excel is data analysis toolpack that we need to add in. Apart from that, you cannot use this. You need to add this particular extra facility of the Excel once, and then you can use that for the analysis purpose. Now, how you can add this add-in in the Excel? Although I have shown you the process here, but I think I'll go to that Excel sheet and we will see that how we can add the add-in in the Excel. So for the purpose, I am expecting, I hope you people are having the data set. Yes or no? I think I have shared already. Any confirmation?
Yes, ma'am, we have opened.
Thank you so much, sir. So here I have given you a very small data set so that easily we can do or perform the analysis on this particular data, right? Firstly, I'll let you know what this particular data is, and then we will start working on this data. So here, firstly, you can see this is the interface of Excel. Here at the upper side, you can see we are having some of the icons. That is the save icon. Then it will help you to undo and the redo. It is for the print preview, something like. And then all the menus or all the tabs are available here. According to our need, we can access them. Then in the first, you can see right now the home tab is activated. So in the home tab, there are various type of things available. Using that, we can perform various kind of things in the Excel. Apart from that, if I say insert will help you to draw the various kind of charts. So this is the section available where I'm rotating my mouse, I'm hovering my mouse, that you can see here we can use this particular section. Using that section, we can easily do the analysis of the, we can easily do the visualization of the data. Talking about data analysis toolpack, how you have to add that, I will explain that thing later on. Firstly, we will do the calculation part here on this particular data. Here you can see we are having a data set. So when we talk about Excel, in Excel we can see each column will represent you the variable. Generally, these are the variable. So column stores variable in Excel. When we talk about row, when we go in row is dedicated for a particular case or for a particular respondent. So here it is quite obvious when I say participant number 1. So this is the responses. Means second row is contained all the responses of the first respondent, right? So this respondent has given us the satisfaction level for the 6 products. Suppose we have asked from the respondents that please give your satisfaction level for these 6 products which you have already used. So for example, the participant 1 is saying for product 1, he is very satisfied. 2, satisfied. For 3 also, he is very satisfied. For 4, he has not given any of the response to this particular 4th product. Maybe he is not using this particular thing. Product 5, very satisfied, and product 6, satisfied. Likewise, we can read for the remaining respondent. We are having total 12 respondents. I hope this data is clear. May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Coming down, now you can see I have given you one section where we need to calculate the non-blank blank and the total option, right? So for non-blank, as I have shown you in the PPT, we can use the count a function. So you need to type a equal sign if we want to perform any function, or if we want to execute any function in the Excel. We need to keep firstly a equal sign in a cell, and after that we need to start writing the name of the function, and that way in the suggestion box, from the suggestion box, we can pick the appropriate function in Excel. So here I selected count a function. Now you can see it is asking me to provide here the values for, or provide here I need to provide here the range. For that I want to calculate the count, right? So I hope it is clear. May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
Now you need to select the range of your data like this, the way I did. Done? Fine. Everyone has performed. I hope you people are doing. Sorry? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Voice is
Yes,
not
ma'am.
clear. Is it okay? May I press enter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So once I pressed enter, you can see now count of non-blank is coming as 11, and it is quite visible to us because we are having a very small data set. So we can see here this for the 6 respondent, this is the respondent number 6. For that we are not having any response, right? And apart from that, all the cells are filled. So that way I have calculated the non-blank cells using the count a function. Is it okay? May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now I can drag this particular function till the last cell like this. This is the beauty of Excel. Excel, I think if you have worked on Excel, you people are knowing there are two types of referencing: absolute referencing, and there is a relative referencing in Excel, right? Absolute and relative meaning is that once I have performed a particular function or particular type of formula on a particular cell, and when I'm dragging it to the next, here you can see I have not fixed any ranges, because absolute meaning is once you are fixing anything. Fixing means either I'm fixing the fixing the column reference, or either I'm fixing the row reference. So column reference means A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the column references. Row references means these are the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 something. These are the row references. So I haven't put any dollar sign here. Once I will put a dollar sign, that means I am fixing this particular range, but I haven't done anything here, right? So that is why you can see once I have dragged this formula from this cell to the next cell, now you can see the change. In place of B, now it will be the C, because now I'm calculating for the next column. So that way this is known as the relative referencing in the Excel. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving ahead, talking about the blank. So here you need to put a equal sign, type count, and then you would be able to get count blank. Then may I start providing the range?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you need to select the same range. As for the entire range, I want to see how many of the blank cells available in this particular range. And that way you can close the bracket and press enter. So may I press enter?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We got.
So here we can see we have got the one blank cell. Now I'm dragging the same formula till the last cell, and that way I'm getting the count for the blank cells in the entire, or for the entire 6 products. Coming to the total, I think it is very simple. We all know there is a function called sum, and then I can easily add these two and can press enter. Done. I hope it was very easy, right? Do I need to repeat? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am, we got.
Okay. So I hope ma'am is saying ma'am has got this. So I'm taking it as everyone has got this, right? May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Fine. So this way we have calculated the non-blank blank cell and we have got the total. So that way you can see the total is coming as 12, and as we are having the 12 respondents data, so that means it is correctly calculated. Moving ahead, talking about the category count. So you need to now switch to the next worksheet. This is a one workbook. In this one workbook, we are having various kind of worksheets. So first worksheet was the missing value. Second worksheet is with the name category count. So I'm expecting you to switch to the next worksheet. Done? Same data
Yes.
we have taken it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here I'm expecting you to maybe copy or whatever you want. Suppose I'm copying all the categories here to save my time. I'm copying and pasting this. So this is a 5-point Likert scale data. That way I did this.
Ma'am, may I ask you a question, please?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, please explain that dollar sign kind of thing
Here
once more.
that will come. Here that will come, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So friends, what I did here, I have copied these various categories here. Here I want to count these various categories. What I did, I have written here very satisfied, satisfied, neutral, unsatisfied, and very unsatisfied. These are the 5 different categories available here. Is it fine?
Yes,
May I
ma'am.
proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we will perform the next function here.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. Okay, give me a second. Maybe mistakenly I have clicked on the stop sharing. Give me a
Ma'am,
second.
yes, it shows left.
Yeah, just turn it. I think I am in meeting. I am there, right?
Yes, ma'am, you are very much there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just turn it. Again, I'm sharing. There is, yeah. I don't know what happened. Again, yes. Now it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now what you need to do here, we need to count how many of the persons are satisfied for product 1. Similarly for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is what we need to calculate. Satisfied, very satisfied, satisfied, neutral, unsatisfied, and very unsatisfied. These are the counts we need to count here. So now it is very clear. We need to see, condition is this. We are putting a condition that how many of the people are unsatisfied or very satisfied for a product 1, right? So here you need to come and write equal, and then you will write count, and then you need to select count if. Done? I
Yes,
hope, yeah. So once you have done this, you have selected the function, you can see it is Excel is giving you what you need to pass inside this particular parenthesis. So it is asking you to provide the range, and also you need to give the criteria. So here, as I said previously, when we talk about, when I was showing you the that slides, I have told you count if function means wherever it is if means it is based on the condition. So condition is what? Very satisfied means how many of the people are very satisfied, right? So in this particular range, so firstly you need to give the range of your data. I don't know what happened, why it is not taking complete. Just a minute. I don't know. Something has happened. I think it has hanged. Give me 2 seconds. I need to check what happened. It's not responding. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. What happened? Give me a second, friends. I think there is some problem of the memory space. I think I can close the slides now, right? So it is probably allowing me to open some more things. Ajay sir, are you there? Anyone? Archie ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Please continue.
Ma'am,
Now
I am
you
just
are
leaving the meeting for a minute. I don't know, there is some problem. System is not allowing me to share anything. So I'm just leaving and then again I'll join. Give me a minute, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
I request all the participants to have patience for 5 minutes till the Chanchala ma'am will rejoin.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, the screen is visible now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so extremely sorry for the technical glitch which has just happened. Again, I'm resuming. wherever we has left. I think we were on the second sheet with an category count, right? So I'm starting from this sheet. As I said, we need to count that how many of the people are very satisfied, satisfied, neutral, unsatisfied, and very unsatisfied for all the 6 products, right? So here coming down, I said you people to write here the COUNTIF, right? So I think you all have written that. According to the COUNTIF function, we need to provide the 2 things. One is the range of the data. For that, I want to get the counting. And on what particular condition I want to that count, that I need to pass as a second parameter, right? So here I told you people to select the range of your data, right? So this is what we did. This is the first thing you need to do. Then you need to put a comma sign. Is it okay? May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
then,
ma'am.
just a minute, again, it will create a problem for me. I need to do it as a, yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm selecting the range, putting a comma, and the condition is very satisfied. I selected this A15. This is done. I can close the bracket and then I can press the enter. Is it okay? May I press enter?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now you can see count is coming as 4. So that means for product A or product 1, there are 4 people who are very satisfied, right? Now, if I want to drag the same formula, maybe the downward. So can I do that? Can I? Suppose I am doing this. You can see once I did this, I'm getting the value, but
Yes,
the values, yes. Anything? Anyone wants to ask me? No? May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can see here the problem is what? First function which we have applied, it was very correct. But problem in the second, you can see in the second, it is taking a range as B3 to B14. This is relative referencing, right? That means for the first, we have taken from this B2 to B13. Once I drag the same formula to the lower cell, from the B2, it has changed to B3, and from B13, it has changed to B14. But I want to fix this range. Yes or no? Because the range is fixed, our data is available from B2 to B13. Is it okay? Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So that
Yes,
means here now we need to use the absolute referencing. So again, I request everyone, double click on your first cell where you people have performed this particular function. So once you will double click, the formula will be again visible to you, right? Now what you need to do, maybe according to your keywords, this particular keys can be different. In some people, in some of you, in some of your keyboard, it will work as function F4. In some laptop, it can work as F4 only, right? So you need to check which is more suitable for your particular keyboard or for your particular Excel. So here I am using my F4 key. F4 key will do, it will put a dollar sign, right? So you can see first, this is what I need to do. So you need to press F4 or function F4 2 times. Is it okay? You need to put your dollar sign on number and not on the B. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is fixed. Done. So now once I will drag my formula from here to downward, so this particular range will be fixed. Now talking about the next, that is A15. So I think it is quite visible. Are these conditions are available in the A column, but column is fixed, but the once I will go to the next, I want to take this as 16. So here what I'll do, I will put the dollar sign before the A. So I need to type 3 times F4 or function F4. Done. I hope it is clear. Absolute reference. Whatever you want to fix, before that you need to put a dollar sign. It is not like you need to use function F4 only. Using your shift and that fourth number button up. I think on fourth we are having a dollar. So from shift plus four number button also you can press. That way it will put a dollar sign wherever you want to put. It is not necessary you need to use F4 key or function F4 key. Is it okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now you need to press a enter. You can see now I'm dragging a formula here. Right now you can see values are changed now. Now for this you can find here it is B2 to B13 and instead of A15 now it is A16. For this A16 is satisfied. Similarly coming here you can see B2 to B13 and now it is A17 and likewise. Fine. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to the next, I'm expecting you people now to perform by your own. I'm writing here count if, providing the range, putting a comma. I think before putting a comma, you can you can fix these ranges also. So this time I'm using the shift and dollar. Shift key and fourth number key. This is what I'm doing. So that way also you can do this. And then selecting this and this is done. I hope you people are also able to do this.
Ma'am, can't we do like this that we are going to calculate, say, for example, for very satisfied just for one cell and then drag it across the row?
You
That
can
will
do
be
that. In that case, the formula we will do that in the. Okay, I'll show you that also. Give me a second. That also we can do. Suppose
okay.
I'm
Thank you, ma'am.
copying this here, right? Now here I'm telling you how you can do that. I have written here count if, right? Now I am using a range. After a range, now you want to drag it horizontally. Horizontally, if you are dragging, that means you want to fix this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to fix this. Comma. I want satisfied. So now it is C2 to C13. It is fine. Instead of this, you need to make it dollar here. Done? I think you have seen what I did. Ma'am, it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So that way, instead of once you are dragging it, it is taking the range in the next C2 to C13. And I want to fix A because A will remain same. So that way, this is what I did. Done?
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So this way also means it is not necessary you need to go horizontally or vertically. It is totally depending upon your comfort level in which way you want to go, right? So I am coming here next, typing here for the next. I'm doing count if in brackets. I'm giving the range firstly like this. I'm fixing this 2 times. You need to press F4 or function F4. Then you need to put a comma. You need to select this. Then you need to fix this. You can close it. Enter. Done. Similarly, coming here, putting the COUNTIF function, giving the range like this. After that, putting the dollar before these row references, putting a comma, giving this fixing A, closing the bracket. I hope it is easier now, right? And you need to do it. You need to create your complete report, because in the upcoming worksheets, I'll show you how you will complete your report, right? So you need to complete it with me. So please do not do it like that one thing you people have performed and remaining you people are just looking. So please do not do that. I hope people are performing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is done at my end. I'm entering, and now I can select it completely and dragging it till last. Count is calculated. Done. I hope. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So may I proceed for the next process now?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
Thank you so much, sir. So I expect everyone to open the third sheet with the name %. Here you can see we are having the same data. Now I'm expecting you people to copy this entire calculation which you have just done using Control C. I am using Control C to copy it and coming here, and then do the right click and do this second, go with the second option, that means values. So that way it will remove the functions and it will allow you to copy the values. Done? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
So that way, without copying the function or formula, we have copied down all the values or all the count which we have done for all these categories in the previous sheet. Now for these particular calculations, you need to calculate the total. Sorry, you need to calculate the %. So for that, I'm coming here. I think we all know total was sum, and then you need to select this, close it, enter, and then you can drag this till this last cell. So this way we are having the count. Done? I hope it is done. Because this total will help you to calculate your % figure. This, for the purpose you have done this totaling of the each or for each particular product. Is it fine? May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now I'm copying these to the lower down, and here we will calculate the %, right? This is what we need to do now. So coming here, putting a equal sign for very satisfied means this. I want to calculate the total by this. Is it okay? I think this way we can calculate %, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I think I need to fix this.
Into 100.
That I'll show you. Without that also you can put a % sign. This is what I am doing. Done. So if % is not coming, what you need to do, you can come here under the home tab. At this number section, you can find % sign is there. If % is not there, you can select this % and it will put a % on whatever % you have calculated. Okay, ma'am?
Ma'am.
Fine? Now, coming down, I'm dragging my formula to the remaining categories. Done? Okay. So now you can see we have calculated the percentage for the first product. So 36 of the percent are very satisfied for product A. 27 are satisfied. 18% are very unsatisfied. And 0% people are unsatisfied for the product 1. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Going
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
Now you can drag your formula and you can see here whether it is coming correctly or not. It is coming correctly or not? I think yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I am dragging my formula here row wise. Done? I think it is easier to calculate, right? May I proceed? Any
Yes, ma'am.
confusion?
Yes,
Do I
ma'am.
need to wait? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the report. Go to the next worksheet with the name report. In the report, you can see the product are listed in the row and the categories are listed in the column, right? But here we are having categories in the rows. What you need to do, you can copy your data, Control C, you can perform. Come here, and here you need to firstly copy down your values like this. You can put the percent sign here. It is fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you need to again, for this was for the very satisfied, right? So now you can copy your figures and paste it here. No, I think it is wrong. What I need to do, I need to just a minute, Control C, Control B, right? So now you can see here the categories are listed like this, right? I need to make changes. Yes, here it should be satisfied. So please make it, or please make a change, because first percent is for the very satisfied, second is for the satisfied, neutral. Here I am putting unsatisfied, and here I am putting very unsatisfied. This is what changes I am making here. Is it okay? I hope it is okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Now you can copy, Control C, come here, do the right click and use the fourth option. You need to transpose this particular matrix. We are converting rows into columns or columns into rows. So fourth option I'm selecting here. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That way you can see we are having a report properly here. For product 1, 36% are very satisfied. So here, if I want to make any conclusion, I can say that the highest satisfaction level or highest satisfaction percent we are getting for the product 3. 40% people are very satisfied for product 3, right? Similarly, if I talk about neutral percent, or if I talk about the very unsatisfied people, so very unsatisfied people are coming for the product 2. Percent is 25%. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Okay,
this
ma'am.
way, sorry, any question?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
No,
So
no.
this, okay, fine. So this way we can do this type of analysis using the, means whatever type of data, this type of one analysis, this is the one analysis we can perform on the data using the Excel. Apart from that, you can move to the last sheet with the name sheet 5. Here you can see now what I did. I think I need to tell you this is the coding I have performed. So for that, I'll expect everyone to insert one more sheet. Click on the plus sign, then come to your missing value sheet, copy your data from here. Control C, coming to the last sheet and paste it here. Done? Done?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now here I firstly tell you how to code your data, right? So for coding of the data, as we need to firstly decide upon for which category which number we need to provide. As in statistics, the drawback is that of the statistic, it cannot deal with the qualitative numbers, right? Or qualitative terms. So we need to convert qualitative terms into the numbers. So we can code our data, right? How we can code our data? So I'm expecting everyone to select these categories here. Like this, press Control F, and then I have pressed here replace also. Now I want to remove, or I want to replace very satisfied with 5. So I have typed in the find what I have typed here very satisfied, and in the replace with I have typed here 5. Is it fine? May I click on replace all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Once I did that, you can see Excel has shown me a message, 17 replacements done. You can press on OK. Now I'm replacing very unsatisfied with the 1. With the 1. Okay, fine. May I?
Yes,
Obviously,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. So 11 replacements done. Now I'm replacing unsatisfied with 2. May I?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So 4 replacements done. Now I am replacing satisfied with 4. Replacing all 24 replacements done. And lastly, you need to replace neutral with 3. And then click on replace all. All the coding which we want to do for the data we have performed. I hope it is okay. May I press on the close button?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is, I think, already this is what I have performed already, and I have given you this thing on the sheet number 5. So this is what we are having. Apart from that, I have taken two more what I need to say variable. One is the gender and second is the income. Purposefully, I have taken these two things here so that we can do the data analysis, right? So for that, firstly, I tell you what you can do here using the Excel. So if suppose I'm having the income and I want to see the average income or the mean income, I can use the function with the name average, right? You need to put a equal sign, and then you need to type AB, and it will show you all the listed functions which are starting from AB. I selected the average. You need to give the range of your data, and you can close it. Done? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So this is the average or the mean income, right? Similarly, if I want to find median of the income, so mean is what? Mean is what? Mean is nothing but it is giving you the average of any particular value. This is generally the measures of central tendency. So if I want to get a single central value which is representing the entire data set, that way I can calculate either mean or median or mode. Mean is very appropriate in case of the numeric data. So we have calculated here mean for the numeric data because income is the kind of numeric data, right? Numeric data means which you can express in terms of number. And income is also known as the continuous data, right? Because it can be in the decimal point also. So that way it is a continuous data. So appropriate calculation for measures of central tendency will be the mean. But for the sake of telling how you can calculate the median and mode, that also I'm telling you for the income. Median is what? Median is the most middle value, which is dividing your data into the two equal parts, right? So here you need to use the function called median. And then you can give the range like this. You can close a bracket and press enter. So I think, may I press enter? Yeah. So the median income is 28,500.
500.
Yeah. Now you need to calculate mode. Mode is what? It is the most occurred value. Most frequent occurring value is known as mode, right? So you need to give a range. If any of the value is occurring more than once, it will give you the value. You can press on enter. So it is coming as 20,000. Then? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
So now you can see we have calculated mean, median, and mode. Further, you can calculate the measures of dispersion as well, right? Measures of dispersion will give you the scatteredness in your data. Generally, we want to see from the mean value what is the dispersion or what is the scatteredness in the data, because that way we can say this thing whether the conclusion will be better or not, right? So now you can type or you can calculate. Just a minute. So now what you can do, you can write here SD, that is standard deviation we are going to calculate. Put a equal sign, type STDEV. It is giving you the function. This, you can give the range of your data. For that, you want to calculate the standard deviation, and then you can press enter. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So we got the standard deviation of the income is 7,183.74. Now variance and standard deviation, there is a relationship. Once you will do the square of the variance, you will get the, once you will do the square of the standard deviation, you will get the variance. But to calculate variance, we are having a function in Excel with the name VAR. Here you can provide the range like this. Close the bracket, press enter. May I?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the variance of the data or variance of the income. Now, apart from that, there is one more thing in statistics with the name measures of distribution. So once you are dealing with the numeric data, continuous data, you need to check whether your data is normally distributed or not. And for checking that, there are two things, that is the skewness and the kurtosis. Skewness means measure of symmetry, whether your data is symmetrical to mean or not. That is skewness. Kurtosis means if you are knowing about the normal distribution curve, bell-shaped curve, you are knowing this thing. So kurtosis will help you to find the peakness of that particular curve, and it will tell you how how sharply peaked your curve is, and it is also telling you whether the tails of that particular curve is thick or thin. So it's this type of study we can do using the kurtosis. So to calculate skewness, the function is SKEW, skew. You can give a range. This, you can press enter. This is the skewness. You can put a equal sign. You can type KURT. Kurt is the function for calculating the kurtosis. You can give the range. And this is giving you the kurtosis. You can press enter. So skewness and kurtosis, here skewness is negative, means your data is negatively skewed, because value is negative. But in the real world, it is very hard to get a perfectly or with the no skewness data or with the no kurtosis data. It is very hard. Kurtosis is also negative. For negative kurtosis, the technical term is platykurtic. Your data is platykurtic data, right? So this is what you can interpret using these figures. Now, if we want to calculate all these things in one go, that also we can do using the data analysis tool pack. So I'll now tell you how you can add the data analysis tool pack in Excel. So for adding that, I hope it is okay. May I start telling you that how you can add it?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
You need to go to the file option or file tab. Then in my version, you can find here options is available. You need to also check options available, probably available there in your versions also. You can click on this. Then at the left-hand side pane, you need to pick here the add-ins. So once you will pick the add-ins, you can see at the bottom under this manage, Excel add-ins are available, right? This is the by default selected, means Excel is enough smart. It is understanding we are working on Excel, means Microsoft is enough smart. It is understanding that we are working on Excel. So that is why once I have selected add-ins, it is showing me the Excel add-ins. If you will be on Word, it will show you the Word add-ins, right? So here we are looking for the Excel add-ins. You need to press on the go button. Once you will press on go, you would be able to see a dialog box is coming for adding the things which are related to the Excel. So the very first option is the analysis toolpath. This is what you need to select here. So if it is unchecked in your Excel, you need to check this and you need to press on OK. Done. I think process is very simple. It is done, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now it is added, but where you can find it? So for that, you need to go to the data tab. Under the data tab, at the extreme right, data analysis option is coming. This is the data analysis toolpath. Once you will click on this, it will show you various different statistical tools which you can perform in Excel. And you can see by default descriptive statistics is coming, because all what we have performed here right now, this is all comes under the descriptive statistics. So if you want to check how you can get these results using this descriptive statistics option, you need to click on the OK button. So may I click on OK? I think everyone has found this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So click on the OK button. Once you will click on OK, it is
Input
showing
range.
you, sorry.
Yeah, that is asking about the input range, something like
Yeah,
that.
it is asking you for the input range. So here I'm selecting my data because I want to calculate the descriptive statistics for income. So I'm selecting my data for the income. You can see, or you can pay attention, I have selected the label of my column also, that is income. Up to you, whether you want to select it or not, totally up to you. I have selected it, right? Now coming to the next section, it is asking you grouped by. By default, it is columns. As you can see, our data is in column only. So that means our data is in column only. But if your data would be in a row, you will go with the rows option. Done. Then it is asking you labels in the first row. Yes, as I have selected my data, including the label of the column, I am checking this box. But if you have not selected your data, including income term, you please do not check this box. Okay, otherwise results will not same. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Now output options, there are 3 output options available. Output range, meaning of this is that I want to generate my output on a same worksheet and I will give any cell reference of a blank cell here, right? New worksheet means it will generate your output in a new worksheet. If you will go with the third option, it will generate your output in the new workbook. But here I want to compare my results. So I'm going with the first option, that is the output range. And then I'm clicking my cursor in the blank box and then coming here and selecting a blank cell. That is what I need to do. And then you need to select only the summary statistics. Is it fine? Yes, ma'am. And then you can press on OK. Once you will press on OK, you can see it is showing you almost similar results. Same values we are getting here also. Right? Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Same.
Same. Apart from that, it is giving you few more things. It is giving you the range. It is giving you the minimum of the income, maximum of the income, total of the income, and count. Yeah. Fine. So this way you can perform descriptive statistics using Excel. Apart from that, I will tell you one more thing, how to perform the hypothesis testing using Excel. Although time is less, but I'll show you one hypothesis testing here using the data which I have given you in a particular sheet. So I think you can see here we are having the 2 variables available with the name gender and income. Now, if you want to compare the income of the male and females, right? So suppose we have taken here 1 for male and 2 for female. Suppose this is what we have taken here, right? Now I want to compare the income of male and female here, right? So for that, what you need to do? Firstly, you need to tell me if I want to compare that whether the income of male and female is similar or not. So which type of hypothesis I will formulate here? Although I think this would become later on in this 10 days FDP, but still as I'm showing you the analysis using Excel, I need to tell you this. So that is why I'm asking if anyone can tell me. If not, I'll tell you. Anyone? What would be the null hypothesis, H0 or H0? No?
Excuse me, madam. There will be no difference in income among male and female.
Very correct. We can write there is no significant difference in the mean income of male and female. Maybe employees, suppose, or respondents, whatever it is. This way, this is the null hypothesis which we can make here. Clear? And alternatively, H1 I can say there is a significant difference. Fine?
Fine.
Okay. So now if this is a hypothesis, can anyone tell me how many variables I am having here? Yes?
Two.
Two. Which two?
Income.
Income and gender.
Very
Gender.
correct. Very correct. So income is the type of numeric and gender is a type of
Attribute.
categorical. Very
Alphabetic.
yeah, categorical variable or nominal scale variable, right? So now according to this particular hypothesis, we need to decide upon which test we need to perform, because Excel can help you only to performing of the test. It will not suggest you anything. So being a researcher, we need to decide upon. So according to the hypothesis, whenever you want to find the mean difference, either you can go for t-test or you can go for the ANOVA, right? So T, ANOVA and Z also you can take here. So these are the three things you can consider here. For finding the mean difference, you need to go for the Z, T or ANOVA. But ANOVA will come later on. You need to see how many categories you are having. We are having the two categories only. One category is male, second category is female. So once you are having the two categories only in the categorical variable with the one numeric variable, you will go for the t-test, right? So here the appropriate test will be the independent samples t-test. So we will go for the independent samples t-test, right? So this is what you need to perform here. So now you need to click on the data analysis toolpath again. You can go down and select here. There are two t-tests available, or I must say three t-tests available. First one is the t-test paired. That is the paired samples t-test. That is the dependent samples t-test. And then in the next two, you can find both the t-tests are the independent samples t-test. One is for the equal variances and other is for the unequal variances. So here, if you are not knowing variance is equal or not, in that case, you can go for the second test, that is the unequal variances, or else in Excel, this facility is available to check the variances. So you can come up and you can find here F test 2 samples for variances. You can click on this and you can press on OK button. So may I press on OK?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can see it is asking you to give the range of your data, right? So the problem is it is asking you variable range 1 and variable range 2. But the problem is with the Excel is that here the format of data is very important. That means it is asking you for the male income and for the female income, which is not clearly visible here, right? So first you need to do one exercise, and the exercise is that you need to copy your this data one more time. I'm adding one more sheet here, pasting my data in the next blank sheet like this. Done. And then I'm coming on gender and applying here a filter. And then I am clicking on the drop down of the gender, deselecting all and selecting only one and pressing on OK, right? So now you can see Control C, and suppose I'm doing here Control V. So one is for male, right? And then I need to write here for the female. So now I'll come here in the gender, instead of 1, I'll select now 2, pressing OK, and then selecting the income of the female candidates and putting here the values. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
I think filtering is easy now, right? Now I am Control X and bringing it little up. Yeah. So this way, this is the data I'm having according to the male and female. Fine. So meaning is that in Excel, your data should be in this format if you want to apply independent sample status. Now you can go to the data tab. You can click on the data analysis tool pack. You can select the F test for the 2 sample for variances and click on OK. And then you can give the range of your first variable, including the label. You can pay attention, I have selected the label, and for the second variable. Then click on the labels if you selected the labels. If not, do not touch this. Alpha label that is the level of significance. It is 5% by default. According to the Excel, if you want to make any changes, you can come here using a keyboard, you can make changes. But I think most of the researches are generally done for the 5%. So I'm going with the 5%. Output options, I am going with the first option, coming to the box and giving the blank cell reference and pressing on OK. So this way output is generated. Now in the output, you can see we are having the F value because it is a F test. We are having the F value. Then we are having the P value. So if I do not say if, I think many of we are knowing this thing, that using the software generally when we are performing or testing a hypothesis, we are generally making our conclusion on the basis of the P values, right? So we can say P value is what? It is 0.44, but it is for the one tail, right? But usually we are making it for the two tail. What you need to do, you can now put a equal sign, select your figure, multiply it by 2. So that way it will be converted into the two tailed and press enter. Done. Done. Any confirmation?
No, one time again tell, please.
From where, ma'am?
To tell.
Okay. You need to put equal sign wherever you want in a blank cell. You can select the P value for the one tailed, multiply this by 2.
Yes, yes.
So this is 0.8944, right? So this P value is greater than 0.05. It is quite obvious, right?
Yes.
So the thumb rule says if your P value is greater than 0.05, you cannot reject the null hypothesis. And what will be the null hypothesis for F test? The null hypothesis is variance is equal. So we cannot reject the null hypothesis. That means we can conclude that variance is equal in both the categories or in both the groups. Is it okay?
Yes.
So when we are knowing variance is equal, that means we will go for the data analysis. Then we can go down, and now instead of selecting unequal, we will select equal variances, because we have ascertained this thing using the F test that variance is equal in both the groups. So we are going with this, pressing on OK. May I press OK? Any confirmation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you need to give the range of your first group. Second group range I am providing in the second variable range. Hypothesize mean difference. We do not need to pass anything here. It should be a blank box. Come to the labels. I have selected my data including the labels. I am selecting this checkbox. Level of significance is 5%. By default, we will go with this. If you want to make changes, that you can do. Output options here, on the same sheet, I want to generate my output. So that is why I'm coming here and I'm selecting the range.
Ma'am, seat is not showing.
Sorry.
Seat is not showing. Your slide is not there.
It is with you only, ma'am. Or what about the remaining persons?
No, ma'am, it is visible. Yeah, it is
Ma'am, it is
visible on
visible.
everyone's end.
Okay. So, ma'am, you need to check your. You need to pin my screen. You need to check at your end.
Please rejoin.
Okay.
Now I'm selecting the blank cell here to generate the output, and you can press on OK button. Once I'll press on OK, you can see we are having here the t-test output for equal variances. We can see here the mean salary for male is 27,666. For female, it is 28,000. Variances for both the categories are given in the next. Observations are 6 and 6 for male and female. Pooled variance, generally we calculate once we are performing the analysis using or doing the manual calculations, but Excel also provide you the pooled variance for both the groups. So this is the pooled variance. Hypothesized mean, we haven't passed anything, that is why it is coming as 0. Degrees of freedom are 10. T statistic means this is your calculated T value, which is minus 0.076. This is the P one-tailed value. This is the T critical one-tailed. So this is the T table value for the one tail. This is the P value for the two tail, and this is the T table for the two tailed. So usually, according to our hypothesis is for the two tailed. I need to check where I have written the hypothesis here. So our hypothesis is for control C and control V. Right? So this way you can see our hypothesis is for the two-tailed test. So that is why instead of going for the one-tailed, I'll go for the two-tailed p-value. I will not report this p-value. I will report this p-value. So we can see here this p-value is again greater than 0.05. Right? So if it is greater than 0.05, the meaning is that again we do not reject the null hypothesis. Do not reject your H0. If we are not rejecting it, that means this is not rejected. We are concluding this. That means we are saying there is no significant difference in the mean income of male and female employees. Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Similarly,
you are taking two tail because of male and female?
no. Because of the alternative hypothesis, because in the alternative hypothesis, I'm saying there is a significant difference. I'm not clearly mentioning this thing that the mean income of male is greater than female, or I'm not saying mean income of the male is less than female. I'm not saying anything like this. If I'm clearly ascertaining the direction, that would be a one tail. But when I'm saying there is a difference, so difference can be greater than and less than anything. So that means this is a two-tail test.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this way you can perform various kind of statistical tool. Here you can see if you want to perform ANOVA, one way, two way, everything is available. Correlation, covariance, exponential. If you want to do means if you want to go for the time series analysis, that you can do. F test, I think I have shown you. Fourier, I think this is not the cup of tea of the statistician. Right now you do not need to do that. Exponential, moving towards the histogram. If you want to create histogram using Excel, using the data analysis toolpack, that you can do moving average, random number generation, rank percentile, regression. You can perform t-test, z-test, everything you can perform here using the Excel. But the high level of statistics that you cannot perform in Excel, right? So this way, this is the limitation of the Excel. Only this is the range of the test which you can perform using the Excel. So I think this is for the day from my side. Now the platform is open for the question and answer. Okay, any queries? No queries?
Ma'am, F is calculating for pair t-test, unpair, independent t-test. You are calculating F denote for ANOVA. F denote for what, madam?
F is means it's the symbol, ma'am. It is given by the pressure, like T T student test is right. T is a kind of alphabet we are using to represent T test. So similarly, F is a kind of I can say alphabet which we are using to represent F test. F test is the Levens test.
Level test.
Leven, Levene.
Level
Fine?
test. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Any other questions from the participants? I hope that all the questions has been already addressed right now, ma'am.
I think so.
Yeah. So I hope that there is no question from your side. And now we are in the concluding mode of today's very insightful session taken by Dr. Chanchila Jain, ma'am, based upon the application of Excel on data analysis. It is of the fourth day of, I hope so, ma'am, this is fourth day of the
It's
10
a
days
fourth.
internet.
It's a fourth
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So because earlier I addressed as a fifth day, so I apologize. And so I
Totally
stand here, ma'am.
seconds.
Yeah. So I stand here with a profound sense of gratitude, and I want to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Chanchila Jain, ma'am, that she has expressed her extensive knowledge and expertise on this crucial aspect of the data analysis. Since we all know that data is, very, very prominent, data science is very prominent for the last or the next 10 years, we can say. So data, as a scholar of management, I can say that data is a lifeblood for that. And we have taken already all the decisions on the basis of the data only. And in future, the base and the decision making, the base for the information will be the data only. So it is very basic aspect, and calculating and in Excel is too good, and it doesn't cost anything. Like you won't need to pay anything for calculation in data analysis. So thank you so much, ma'am. And even I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the participants who have listened in very patient manner, and for their active participation, for their sincere engagement throughout the session. It was more than 1.5 hour session. So thank you one and all, and thank you team RFI for conducting such kind of insightful session. So looking forward for tomorrow's very insightful session for the next prominent speaker on our end. So once again, thank you so much, Dr. Chanchila Jain, for
Thank you,
providing
madam.
your very enriched knowledge and understanding on data analysis from MS Excel. Thank you so much. And we are announcing for the winding of the session. You may
Thank
leave
you,
now.
Archie ma'am. Archie ma'am, can we take a pic before ending the session? Can we ask?
Sure, ma'am. I'm not presentable, but I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay.
Just give me a
So,
second.
yeah. So those who can sit on their cameras.
Beta.
Okay. So anyone is okay. Shiv sir has done. Santosh sir has done. Very good. I can see now faces to whom I was interacting since last 1.5 hours. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Can we request some more faces to come here? Some more lively faces to go for photo sessions. I know that this is so convenient mode that no one is presentable, but yeah, we appreciate if you can presentable right now. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Give me a second. I'm just capturing.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Please take a screenshot.
Yeah, I'm doing that, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, sure.
I did. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You
much,
can
ma'am.
leave the session right now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.